John Harbaugh to the New York Giants is official, is written ink. I wanted to make sure it was completely done deal before talking about it. Now that it's done, let's get into it. Now, a lot of people may be wondering, is it a good fit? Is it a good thing? I think it is. I think it's one of the better choices the New York Giants could have made for their new head coach. Especially since I know this is the last chance the GM is also getting to make sure he can get this team right. Now, I think what will have the GM go a long way is to make sure the team is competitive again. Make sure it can finish as number one in the NFC East, which may seem like a really tall task, but I don't per se believe in the Eagles. Now, the Eagles are one good offensive coordinator away from being right back into things, but that doesn't always happen. It could take multiple years to get that fit right again. Cowboys are the Cowboys, and the Commanders, they have a lot of issues with their roster they need to figure out. I think they're 2 or 3 years away from being back to where they were for where Jaden Daniels was a hot rookie. The Giants, on the other hand, I actually like their roster construction. I actually like a lot of the talent they have on both sides of the football. And I also think their special teams is pretty underrated. And with John Harbaugh coming onto this team, I think the special teams can really emerge as a better one. And I also believe the number one thing the New York Giants have been lacking since 2011 is culture. I think the culture in that organization has been highly mismanaged. I think it has been playing football for season after season after season with zero identity. They've had an identity crisis since 2011. All right. They did not handle the Eli Manning transition well at all. All right. They benched him for Geno Smith. And not the Geno Smith you saw for that 1 year in Seattle that he was good there, but like Geno Smith slightly in the middle of evolving from Jets Geno Smith to Seattle Geno Smith. All right. Pretty much the Geno Smith you saw this season in Vegas is the Geno Smith they benched 2-time Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning for. All right. And they ruined his streak. And once that happened, the culture, the identity has been gone and missing from this organization. Okay. The Odell Beckham Jr. years were wasted. The Saquon Barkley years, wasted. They just had no identity. All right, New York Giants football used to be the pass rush, the spectacular catches and plays made by the wide receiver, and their captain at quarterback, Eli Manning, that, yes, turns the ball over like a turnover factory, but when it comes to the stats that really do matter, the stuff that's going to get him into the Hall of Fame eventually, he's solid there. All right. And I think since Tom Coughlin left, they just haven't really found that same coach and footing. They've had disaster hire after disaster hire after disaster hire. Now going finally to John Harbaugh. This is a guy that can establish culture. He did it in Baltimore for 18 seasons and had many winning seasons, including a Super Bowl win. He is a guy that's going to go in there day one and establish a new order within that organization. He's going to be trusted. He's going to be ready to prove himself and ready to get this team back into playoff contention and eventually a Super Bowl run. Now, they are very far away from that Super Bowl run. Right now, it's just about being competitive, right? Because for the last couple of seasons, since that one playoff run with Daniel Jones, the New York Giants have not been competitive in any sense of the word, and they're wasting a bunch of really good defensive players. And John Harbaugh is a guy who can establish that culture. Again, the Ravens organization has been something before John Harbaugh, and they will be afterwards. And despite what people in the media are saying, John Harbaugh did not, and I repeat, did not develop Lamar Jackson. He is not solely responsible for the emergence of Heisman winning quarterback Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP winner Lamar Jackson, multiple All-Pro first team Lamar Jackson. It's not, well, no, does football have first team? I keep forgetting because I watch so much basketball and football that I keep mixing up all pro and all NBA and then first team, second team, all that stuff. But anyway, I digress. What John Harbaugh's going to do is he's going to take a young quarterback. And I think John Harbaugh is good with young quarterbacks. I think he's going to take a young quarterback in Jackson Dart. I think he's going to establish, hey, this reckless abandonment football you're playing, you're not going to last long. The way you're playing is going to take us 2 more seasons until we have to go and draft or trade for another quarterback to take your spot because you'll be done in this league, at least as a starter. All right? Eventually, maybe halfway through the season next year, they'll get Cam Skattebo back. All right? I think they have a good, solid running back core. Could be improved, but really solid running back core. I think the receiving core, when Malik Neighbors come back from injury, probably take him a little bit to get back into things. I think they can improve there as well, but they still have, again, a very solid offensive team with a lot of defensive stars as well that I think, again, through draft and through some trades can bolster that team. Now, this isn't something you're going to see a night and day difference. It's going to take a while because the NFC East still has power horses within that division that will make it very difficult. And I do expect the Commanders to come back and have a better season than they did this season. So I expect the Giants to take 2 to 3 years to really develop Jackson Dart, help Malik Neighbors come along and get back from injury, get the running back core to be stronger, more consistent, fix up that O-line a little bit more, get that defensive line running on all cylinders again, and the secondary for the Giants, bolster that up, and you're looking at a very solid team that can compete in the playoffs. And I think the guys who want to give a voice of stability, hope, and will to get this team to get to these next levels, these next years, is going to be John Harbaugh. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do for the Giants organization. I know there are plenty of other coaches out there. I almost said Brian Burns. The name is escaping me for some reason. Brian Flores, I know the Bills just, as I'm recording this video, the Bills just fired Sean McDermott. So there's plenty of other coaches out there. I think John Harbaugh will be fine. I think he'll be fine. And I think that it'll be a transition period, and they'll probably have a pretty bad season coming up. But I think there'll be a lot of positives to take away from the season. I think even though Brian Daboll did his thing, and I still don't think he developed a good culture. I still don't think the players fully bought in to what he was doing. I think there was way too much blame on Daniel Jones. And the fact that your quarterback you put all that blame on could go to another team and immediately make them a playoff contention team. I know he tore his Achilles and all that stuff, so that was unfortunate. But the fact that Daniel Jones, who was a poster boy for worst quarterback play of all time, could go to another team with a whole different system, but has stability and skill players, and can immediately make an impact and look like the best quarterback in the NFL for at least 8 weeks, tells you that the New York Giants lacks discipline, they lack culture, and they're just not a good team. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Tell me your thoughts on John Harbaugh being the new guiding light for the New York Giants. See you in the next one. Peace.